Interactions, Collaboration Skills for the SPE Professionals, Chapter 1 through 3 PowerPoints by Keisha Thompson. Today we're going to talk about collaboration. Collaboration is a style for direct interaction between at least two co-equal parties voluntarily engaged in shared decision making as they work towards a common goal. It is also an education buzzword. And collaboration is used frequently in casual conversation. Defining characteristics of collaboration. The first one is voluntary. The second would be requires parity. Both parties have to have equal power in decision making. The third one is based on mutual goals. Both parties has to have a common vision. Shared responsibility. Share all the decision making, and then share resources, share accountability for the outcomes. The next would be emergent characteristics of collaboration. First, you need to value the interpersonal style, and it is very important that we must trust one another. And then I need a feeling of a sense of community. The challenges of collaboration. School structure, professional socialization, power in a relationship, and pragmatic issues. Learning about collaboration. Personal commitment is when you carry out your responsibilities of your job. Communication skills is a basic building block. Interaction processes is steps that take interactions from the beginning all the way to the end. And there's programs or services. And the context is the overall environment. Chapter 2, Interpersonal Communication. Understanding communication is what we're going to look at first. This is the management of messages with the objective of creative meaning. You must become familiar with the general universal aspects involved in all communication. And all communications share a set of characteristics and elements. There's 3 views of communication. The linear view is one way that the process is in which a sender constructs and transmits a message. The second one would be the interactional view. This is a two-way process in which a sender and a reviewer alternately exchange information. The third one is a transactional view. This is when you co-construct the shared meanings by continuously exchanging messages. What is interpersonal communication? The book definition was a complex transactional process through which people create shared meanings through continuously and simultaneously exchanging message through multiple channels in order to create shared meanings. Interpersonal competence. You must have a sophisticated perspective taking skills. You must continually work towards increased intercultural awareness and accurate perception. In preparing for interactions, you should understand your own and others' perspective and how these have been shaped by the past experience, professional preparation, and cultural identity. You must improve your communication skills. The first thing you need to do is become a student of communication. Nurture and communicate openness. Keep communication meaningful. Use the silence effectively. And adapt your communication to match the task and the relationship. Next, we'll go to Chapter 3, Listening, Responding, and Giving Feedback. First, we're going to look at nonverbal communication. This is the central mechanism for communicating emotion and attitudes. There's also 3 primary classes, which is body language. That's the way we speak with our body. The vocal cues and spatial relations. Nonverbal cues are a powerful communication and mechanisms. Listening is a process. Hearing sound waves transmitted at a certain frequency and loudness. Attending is the psychological process. Understanding is the sense-making element in which we have the listening process. Then you have responding, and this is the provision of the verbal and nonverbal feedback to the speaker. And remembering is the ability to recall. The factors that interfere with effective learning, first one would be faulty assumptions, insufficient time for communication, daydreaming, rehearsing a response, filtering messages, being distracted by noise, and the lack of training. Next is improving listening skills. First, we need to establish listening goals and eliminate all the distractions around us. Avoid prejudgments. Be open-minded. Avoid interruptions. And focus on the content of the spoken language, and then focus on the context of the message. There's 3 significant concepts for the understanding of effective verbal and nonverbal communication. The first one is congruence, and that is a communication that is composed of clusters. So this is several behaviors that have the same or highly similar meanings occurred simultaneously. Individuality is the meaning of a single word or nonverbal cue. Depends not only on the context in which it occurs, but also on its specific meaning to the individual using the word, or demonstrating the behavior into the individual observing and interpret it. Concreteness is more likely to understand verbal interactions if they involve specific information. And effective feedback. Effective feedback is a descriptive, specific, directed towards changeable behaviors and situations, concise, and check for accuracy. And also, feedback should be solicited, direct, culturally sensitive, and well-timed.